And so now we apologize. There's nothing wrong with that if we can. Some people, we have a challenge apologizing for some reason. Hey, the idea is to get the outcome to be what we want it to be. So we apologize. I apologize for putting you in this position. Certainly not your responsibility to make sure I'm taken care of. That's okay. Now, the next thing we do, now this is key. Please write this down. These are the 8 key words. They will work for you 99.9% of the time if we've set up the situation correctly with this person. And these words are, if you can't do it, I'll definitely understand. If you can't do it, I'll definitely understand. Then we follow up. If you can, I'd certainly appreciate it. If you can't do it, I'll definitely understand. If you can, I'd certainly appreciate it. Now, what we can do is after a few seconds go by, we can sort of add the coup de grace, and that is, hey, don't get yourself in any hot water over this. It's not that important. Or, hey, don't get yourself in any trouble, or don't get yourself fired over this. Now, we have to be careful, by the way we say it. It isn't what we say, it's how we say it. If we say something like, oh, don't get yourself in any hot water over this. Yeah. Probably won't have the exact response that we're looking for. Okay. What it will do is this. It will totally reposition this situation from us against them to us and them against the world. Oh yeah, and we will more than likely get what we need. Let's realize that the reason people act as they do, living in the challenge instead of the solution, is usually due to ego. Not ours. We don't have one. Nobody in this room has one. It's the other person. And so, there's an ego. People want to feel good about themselves. They also don't want to feel badly about themselves. So if we can always keep in mind that what we want to do is make that other person feel good about themselves, we're always going to be on the right track. I was reading an article in Parade magazine, this is about a year ago, I guess, and they do some interviews with teenagers, and they asked one young woman, what's the greatest lesson your parents ever taught you? And she said, well, the greatest lesson I ever learned was from my father, who learned this from his father, and that was that whenever you meet someone, make believe they have a sign around their neck that says, make me feel important. Now we can say whenever we meet someone, make believe they have a sign around their neck that says, make me feel good about myself. See, when we do that on a consistent basis, boom, we're internalizing it, it's going to work for us. Now, what are some of the things we can do, some of the individual techniques we can use? I almost don't want to call them techniques. They're really principles. They're a way of living life. But they're also individual techniques. Sometimes a thank you in advance is the best insurance you can buy that person's going to do for you what you want them to. Now, here's something you'll probably never use in your business, but you can relate it to it. How many of you ever eat at cafeterias? Now, I'm a food guy. I love cafeterias. To be able to, have that choice of everything you want. Now here's the thing. I love vegetables, and I love spinach. Woo, I love it. Now, here's a way. Again, this is not something you'll probably run out and use tonight, but here's a way to get an extra helping of spinach or whatever you want. We're in line. The person's shoveling out the food, okay? The same look on their face, nobody looking at them, nobody acknowledging them. What we want to do is as they look at us, we make eye contact and we smile and we say hi, which separates us from everybody else in that line. Now what we do is as she's starting to go for the spinach, as soon as that big spoon touches the spinach, we go, thank you, I love spinach. You'll get tons of spinach. It's those little things. Now, there's a woman at the local grocery store. She's been working there forever. Really sweet lady. And I was going in there for a while, and I was on a roast beef sandwich kick. And the sandwiches had been a little bit fatty. And so I said to her, as I was asking her to make the sandwich, I said, I really appreciate how you guys really make those sandwiches so nice and lean. It's so good. Well, she made the leanest, most delicious roast beef sandwich. Now, when I got it and saw it, I acknowledged that out loud. I said, this is awesome. This is the greatest looking, the leanest roast beef sandwich I've ever seen. I said it loudly enough that the other customers could hear, that she could hear, and that her coworkers could hear. And you should have seen the smile, the way her face just beamed with pride. Now, we might say, well, that's, making a great roast beef sandwich, especially a really lean one, isn't something that would make me beam with pride. No, it might not, but that's her profession. That's what she does. Now, I got to tell you, after that, whenever I walked into that store, whether it was her or one of the others who made my sandwiches, it was lean and had so much extra beef on it. Now, you might say, well, Bob, isn't that kind of manipulative? Yeah. But I can live with that. No, I don't think it is, and I'm going to tell you why. First of all, it made her feel good about herself too, and probably helped her serve others, which created better customer satisfaction, which probably added to the bottom line of that store. But the other thing is this: intent is what counts. If I was in any store, anywhere, that I was going to be in one time and one time only, was never going to see them again, I would have done the same thing. And I think all of us would. And that's the point. When we internalize the principles, then when we need the techniques, they happen naturally for us. One more, I guess if you want to say, technique before we wrap up, and that is something Abe Lincoln used to do so wonderfully well when he was a practicing attorney, when he was a circuit attorney in Illinois. And that is to, when in a discussion or a disagreement with somebody, to point out their side of the case first. See, what he would do is he would begin to make the case for the opposition. And what that did is it said to the judge and to the jurors, hey, here's a person who's just looking for the truth, who's looking to be fair, not just win at the expense of anybody else. And he'd do a wonderful job of presenting the other side's case. And then it was his turn to present his sides. And then he let it all hang out. The fact was, his credibility was already by that time very established. Now, here's how we can apply it to today's real world, and that is, when we're in a disagreement with someone, try making their point first. Let them know you understand why they feel that way. You can see, you would definitely, if you were in that position, feel the exact same way. You know just what they're saying. In fact, and then point something out again that they agree with. Now your credibility is so established in that person's mind's eye that when you say something for your side, it's, hey, this person's just looking for the truth. They're not looking to hurt me in any way. It's funny because the theme of this regional meeting, the theme of this tour, the theme of this convention is Mission Possible. Well, I'll tell you what, with this company behind you, not only is the mission possible, but this mission is unstoppable. I wish each and every one of you the best of success as you win without intimidation. Thank you, everyone. Thank you.